Hi, all. Good evening. So, we have seen the secrets of the mind and about the layers of the mind, components of the mind, how it functions, all these things we saw. There are some more secrets to the mind, which we are going to see in the upcoming videos. First thing that we need to understand is what is self and what is ego, how these two are connected. So, I can put it as self beyond ego. So, what is self, first of all? In psychology, we study about the real self and the identity self, popularly the Carl Rogers theory in Western psychology. But Indian psychology, we have only one self, which is the true nature of the self, which is the spiritual self. This true nature of the self, in our ancient thinkers call it as the Satchit Ananda. So, in our last previous videos, we have talked about some 19 Ekovinam Shati Mukhaha, the 19 tools that we talked about. That is the sense organs, organs of locomotion, or five pranas, and also we talked about the internal tools. This nothing is what is the self. All these 19 tools are not the self. So, what is self? Like Adi Shankaracharya in his famous Nirvana Shatakam, he says that Mano Buddhi Ahamkara Chitta Ninaham. So I am not the mind, I am not the buddhi, I am not the chitta, I am not the physical components or the layers which we have talked about. I am not the, here I am mentioning about the self, okay. I am not the all the 8 components or the 8 layers that we have talked about in the Manomaya Kosha. Then who am I? Then am I the prana? No, I am not the prana. Then who am I? I am that formless, I am that one which does not get affected by any of the things that is happening inside or outside, and that is what is the bliss. That is what is called as Satchitananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. This in Adi Shankaracharya had written in Nirvana Shatakam. So I am neither of any of the components that we have discussed. Then I am the bliss. That is the 5th layer that we had been discussing all these things, all these times. This Satchitananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. Okay, fine. Let's keep it aside. Then there is one thing which is called as the ahamkara, which we talked about in the internal tools or the antakarna. That is the mana buddhi chitta ahamkara. That ahamkara, that is the ego. Then what is this ego? Is that you popularly called as the big I? Yeah. So is this ego and the self one and the same? No, they are not one and the same. Then what is this ego? Ego is a false sense of the self. That is, ego is something that is the self identifies itself with some part of who I am. I am the name you can give. My name is Lakshmi. So I am Lakshmi. I am a psychologist. I am a yogic scholar. I am a teacher. I am a mother. I am a sister. So any identity you give to I am. In the concept of self, in your Western psychology concepts, whatever you say that concept of self is this ahamkara. You might be a dancer, you might be a player, you might be a good keyboard player, you might be a good badminton player, you might be a good Western dancer, call it anyway. This does not have any connection with the true nature of your own self. That is the true nature of the self, which does not get affected by any of the things that is happening external to you as well as that is happening internal to you. What are the things that happens internal to you? Please go to our Secret of the Mind part 3 and the 4 videos to understand what all things that happen inside you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your etc. that we had discussed in those videos. Okay. So, how to identify this internal self or this true nature of the self? That is the question here. Our ancient thinkers had said, See, the periphery, you have the physical component and the mental component. Okay. So the Taittiriya Upanishad, they say, in all the other Upanishads also, they say, when you still your mind, when you quiet your mind, when you calm down your mind, here the mind is the ripples, the thoughts, the experiences that you have, the memory part that you have, everything. When you calm down all those things, then you might have a glimpse of this bliss, and it has to happen. See, every one of us, sometime or the other, have actually experienced the bliss in every walk of our life. When we sleep, at times when we sleep, we go to that kind of a sleep where we get up and we don't even realize where we are. எங்கே இருக்கோன்னே தெரியாமல் அப்படி தூங்கி முழிச்சிருப்போம் இல்லையா? So, ஒரு few seconds we will take to analyze where we are, who am I. So, that part, that particular phase of time where you didn't have any dreams, where the mind was completely still, and you had actually realized the bliss. And that is why from that deep sleep, we don't want to get up. இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரம் தூங்கி முழிக்கலாமே, இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரம் படுத்துட்டு இருக்கலாமே அப்படின்ற தாட் வில் கம் டு அஸ். Some more time we want to enjoy that bliss. But this bliss is not permanent. This had come, it had happened involuntarily sometimes when you sleep. If you wish, this bliss can happen to you at your will when you want to have it. That is, you can always connect yourself to that bliss. So here in my next video, I will be talking about this state of bliss as explained in Mandukya Upanishad. So the different kinds of self will also be explained in the upcoming video. The reference or the source book is Mandukya Upanishad, from which I will be talking about. Thank you so much.